Wish you warm welcome. In today's full body practice, we'll focus on building strength and flexibility in lower body. I'll be using two blocks here. If you don't have blocks, see if you can grab a strong, sturdy, big book. We just need it for one asana and not more than that. Or you can substitutely use a blanket, a thick blanket on which you can place your hands. When you are ready, we'll begin our warm-up with spot walk or spot jog. If you can jog, I want you to jog. If you can't, let's do walk. Engage your arms. Through subtle movements, we signal our muscles to engage. We prepare them for more intense activity. So try to engage as many muscles, as many body parts you can in your walk, in your jog. So your arms, your legs, pay attention to your feet, how you are landing on them. Make sure you're not heavy on your heels, you're landing on the balls of your feet. Raise your arms sideways. Bring them down at the front. Keep going. Move them through the sides. To front. One more time. Bring your arms at the side and then move them as if you're jogging or running. Now raise your arms, bring them in line with your shoulders. Turn them into shoulders so that palms are facing towards the ground. Keep walking, keep jogging. Now bend them at the elbows and bring your hands to your shoulders. Breathe, don't hold the breath. Last few seconds here. Then turn your arms at the sides, bring them down. Well done. Pause. Come to Tadasana. Feet hip width apart. Arms at your sides. Let the arms lengthen. Observe your fingers. Let them extend towards the ground. Bring your attention to your face. Let the forehead soften. Let your jaw relax. We use Tadasana to calibrate our alignment. That means we scan our body to bring symmetry and stability in the pose. And we use this awareness that we cultivate in Tadasana all through the practice. Release. Next, bring your hands to your hips. Feet are hip width apart and moving your leg towards the side. I'm mirroring the pose here. That means this is my right, which is same as yours. Keep going, moving the leg towards the right. You can bring your leg on the ground, or you can, without touching it to the ground, keep going. See what suits and choose the option. If you want to increase the intensity of the pose, then do not touch it to the ground and keep going. Last 4 iterations. 3, 2, 1. Change. Let's do the opposite side. Keep breathing. Don't hold the breath. If this is too intense for some reason, then go next to the wall and bring your hand on the wall for support. Last 4 iterations. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a breath here and we'll do leg movements at the front and back. Let's start. Keep moving your leg at the front and back. But this time, when you do this, make sure you're not leaning your torso or trunk towards the front. Last 4 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Change. Let's do the opposite side. Pay attention to your breath. Don't hold your breath. Last 4 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come back to Tadasana with arms at your sides and feet 3 feet apart. Now we'll do the knee raises. So raise your right knee, bring it towards the chest. Then opposite. Keep going, lifting the leg up towards the chest. Now when you raise your knee, exhale at that time. So exhale through your nose when you raise, inhale when you bring it down. If your nose is blocked for some reason, then exhale through your mouth like this. Otherwise, you will exhale through your nose. Now engage the arms, will engage the arms in this action. So bring your hands at the front, and when you raise your knee, arms are going at the sides. Let's do that. For last rounds. 2. Pay attention to your breath. 3. Relax your face. Pause. Bring your arms at the sides and back to Tadasana. Stay here for a moment. Once more, pay attention to your alignment on your feet. See if you are evenly balanced between both the feet, your heels and ball of your feet. If you are heavy at one side, then try to bring the evenness by adjusting your body weight. Release. The last exercise of today's warm-up is small sequence. Come at the front of your mat, stand in Tadasana with feet 3 feet apart, arms at your side, looking straight. Connect with your breath. Slow inhale and exhale. You don't have to change the breath, but just pay attention to your breath and connect with your breath. That means just pay attention to your breath without changing it. On next inhalation, raise your arms up. Exhale as you bend your legs and sit down. On next exhale, bend forward and bring your hands onto the mat. Legs bent at the knee or straight legs, your choice. Inhale as you roll yourself up. Come slowly. Exhale as you come back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Take normal breath here. And we'll do 4 more rounds of this small sequence. Inhale and raise your arm. Exhale as you sit down. Exhale and bend forward. Start straightening a leg. Start straightening your legs to get that opening at the back of your legs, but maintain the intensity that is medium or lower than medium. Gently roll yourself up. Back to Tadasana. Inhale and raise your arms up. Exhale as you bend your legs to sit down. On next exhale, bend forward and bring your hands at the front of your mat and roll yourself up. Inhale and raise your arms up. Exhale as you bend your legs to sit down. On next exhale, bend forward, bring your hands onto the mat. See if you can straighten your legs a bit more. Inhale as you roll yourself up, gently under control. Let each vertebrae engage in the movement when you come up. Back to mountain pose. Take a breath here and we'll repeat. 2 more rounds. Raise your arms up. Bend your legs and go down. Make sure you are engaging your breath. Now you know how to do it. Go forward. Straighten your legs. Get a bit more opening at the back of your knee in your hamstrings. Inhale as you roll yourself up. Under control. Back to mountain pose. Normal breath. And we continue. Raise your arms up. Exhale and bend down. Go forward. Straighten the legs. Inhale as you roll yourself up. Take 2 more breaths here. Normal breath. And use Tadasana to pay attention to your breath and alignment and observe the sensations that you're feeling in your feet, in your lower back. Release and relax. Come at the center of the mat. In the next section of today's practice, we'll focus on traditional asana or its variation, starting with Trikonasana, triangle pose. Bring your feet together, inner edges of your feet touching each other, arms at your side, chest lifted, inner shoulders going away from each other, and shoulders, top of your shoulders going down. So you have broad and wide chest. Relax your face. Then while maintaining your breath, bring your hands to your chest so that fingers are pointing towards each other. See if you're lifting your shoulders up the moment hands come to your chest. If so, bring them down. Bend your legs, jump or walk your legs wide apart. Take a broader stance. I'm mirroring the pose here. That means this is my right, which is same as yours. Turn the right leg out to the right, roughly 90 degrees towards the wall on your right, and turn the back leg in. To do that, lift your back heel and place it all the way back so that you turn the back leg in roughly 45 to 60 degrees to the wall on your right. The moment you do this, tendency is to turn the torso along with the right leg. But we want the torso parallel to the wall at the front. So turn your torso to bring it parallel to the wall at the front to the extent you can. Then raise your arms, bring them in line with your shoulders, let them extend towards the sides. And when you do that, observe your feet. Pay attention to your feet with your mind's eye. Press all the edges of your feet well onto the ground. Then extend towards the right. Come to the center. Once more, bring attention to your arms. Have a look at them. Make sure they are straight. Your fingers are straight. Check both the arms. Then extend towards the right and come to the center. Last time, extend towards the right. Come to the center. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn both the feet in so that your toes are pointing straight towards the wall at the front. And turn your left leg out roughly 90 degrees to the wall on your left. Turn the back leg in. Now you know the drill. And just observe the heel of your left foot is roughly in line with the arch of your right foot. If not, adjust your legs. Make sure the distance is broad between the legs. Then raise your arms. Give a quick look. Make sure they are in line and straight. Straighten them at the elbows, not lifting the shoulders. Bring them down. Extend towards the left. Come to the center. 2 more rounds. Extend towards the left. Come to the center. Extend. Come to the center. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your feet in. Bring your hands to your chest. Bend your legs back to Tadasana. Let's take a breath here and we'll repeat. Let's repeat. This time we'll do the full pose. Now you know the drill. Bring your hands to your chest. Bend your legs, jump or walk your legs wide apart. Take a broader stance. Hands to your hips. Turn the right leg out. Turn the back leg in. Just pay attention to your right heel. Make sure it's roughly in line with the arch of the back leg. Then observe your torso. Bring it in the center, roughly parallel to the wall at the front. Raise your arms up. Extend towards the right. This time when you extend towards the right, bend towards the right and bring your right hand onto your leg. onto your knee, shin, your ankle joint, or on the ground outside of your right foot if you can. Otherwise, maintain it on your leg. Move your head back, still looking at the wall at the front. Your top arm is on your hip. Breathe, don't hold the breath, and press your feet well onto the ground. Then raise your arm up. If this is going well, move your head back, turn your head, and have a look at your top hand. On next exhale, bring your top arm down onto your hip. Exhale as you press your feet and lift your torso, bring it into the center, turn your feet so that toes are pointing straight towards a wall at the front. Let's do the opposite side. Turn the left leg out, turn the back leg in, raise your arms, extend towards the left, go down, move your head back, keep breathing, don't hold the breath. Once you are stable, make sure you are pressing both the feet well onto the ground. Then raise your top arm up, bring it in line with the shoulder, and make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. So you're creating space between your shoulders and your ears. Then turn your head and have a look at your top hand. Keep breathing, don't hold the breath. Make sure your legs are not dull. That means you're pressing your feet, your toes well onto the mat. You're lifting the front of your thighs to have that strong connection of your legs with your hips. Exhale as you bend your arm, press your feet, and bring your torso into the center. Turn the feet in, bring your hands to your chest, bend, jump or walk back into mountain pose. Take a breath here. One more breath. Relax your face, relax your jaw. Allow your shoulders to go down. Pay attention to the sensations in your legs, in your shoulders, in your neck. Release and relax. Next, we'll practice Vrikshasana, tree pose. Come back to Tadasana, feet together. Now bend your right leg, catch hold of your right ankle joint with your right hand and place your right foot onto your left inner thigh as high as possible. If this is too intense, then place your foot on your inner leg to the point you can reach. You're on your knee, at the inside of your knee, or at the side of your shin. Find the point you can reach and place your foot there. Then bring your hands onto your hips. If you are losing the balance, then take the support of the wall, place your right hand onto the wall. Now bring your attention to your left foot. Let it spread, let it widen. Don't squeeze your foot, the toes, let them expand. The more surface area you have, I'm losing the balance here. The more surface area you have with your foot, greater the stability in the pose. Then lock your eye gaze. Keep looking straight at one point for more stability. Release. Let's change. When you are ready, to the opposite side. Bring your left foot to the extent you can on your right inner leg. Looking straight, lock your eye gaze. Press that inner edge of your right foot well onto the mat for stability. Let the toes expand. Let the feet, let your left foot, let your toes spread. Let your left foot widen. Observe your breath. Don't hold the breath. Release. Release. Let's do it one more time. This time we'll engage the arms as well. Bend your right leg and place it on your inner left leg as high as possible. Then bring your hands to your hips. Get stable here first. Relax your face. Connect with your breath. Press your left foot well onto the mat so that you have stability. Once you are stable, then See if you can slowly raise your arms up, lock your eye gaze so that you maintain the balance. If you are losing the balance, see if moving the arms down onto your hips helps. If so, do that and then raise them again. Keep going, bring them down and go up. Just for a second, you have your arms up, and that's exactly what we want. We are teaching our brain and our muscles to balance. If you can stay up, then do that. Last breath here. Slowly bring your arms down. Let's change. When you're ready, bend your left leg, bring it onto your left inner leg, right inner leg. Place it as high as possible. Then bring your hands to your hips. No rush here. Press the inner edge of your right foot well onto the mat. Make sure you're not heavy at the front of your foot. So bring your balance by moving your weight back onto your heel. Then raise your arms up. If you're losing the balance, bring it down. See if that allows you to stay in the pose. Then go up again once you're stable. Keep going. Even for a moment you're in the pose, that's awesome. Can stay up, then stay up. Slowly bring your hands down, release, come back to Tadasana with feet together. Release and relax. Next, Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Come to the mat and sit against the wall in Dandasana, staff pose. We are using Dandasana, staff pose here to measure the distance from the wall for the next pose. So observe where the heels are, the back of your heels are. And while remembering that point, come up standing. Make sure you remember the point where the back of your heels were. Grab the blocks and keep them next to your foot. Now, place your heel in line with the point where the back of your heel was, so that you have right distance from the wall, most probably. Bring your back heel against the wall, legs slightly turned in. Now observe the right heel or the front heel is roughly in line with the arch of your back leg. While maintaining this alignment, bend your front leg and bring your hand onto the ground or your fingers onto the mat. Now transfer the body weight. You already have the body weight transfer on the front leg. If not, transfer the body weight 70 to 80% on your front leg so that you can lift your back leg and place it on the wall. If for some reason you are too away from the wall and can't land your back leg onto the wall, then shift your front leg back, then go back into the pose and land your foot onto the wall. And make sure whole of your foot is placed against the wall, not just the ball of your foot or the toes, the whole of your foot. So having both the feet pressing well against the surface gives you more stability. And if you're struggling to maintain your fingers or hand onto the ground, then this is where the block or substitute for the block that you have comes handy. Place a block and place your hand on the block, or place two blocks. Take a breath here. Bring your top arm on your outer thigh. Relax your face. Slowly come out of the pose. Let's change the side. Move the block towards the opposite side. I'm changing my position here because I'm facing the camera and I do not have a wall at this side, but for you, you'll be just turning your side so that you can bring the opposite leg on the wall, and I will be using a chair as I do not have a wall to land my top leg. Okay, let's do that. Now remember the position, you know the drill, you know the distances. Make sure your front leg is pointing straight towards the wall at the front, back leg slightly turned in. Bend your front leg, bring your hand onto the blocks or on the mat. Transfer your body weight onto the front foot and slowly raise your back leg to land it onto the wall. Breathe, don't hold the breath. Make sure your wrist is roughly in line with your shoulder. Bring your top hand onto your hip or on your outer thigh. Breathe, don't hold the breath. Move your head back, looking straight towards the wall at the front. Press both the feet strongly onto the surface to you so that you have more stability. Slowly bend your front leg to bring the top leg down. Straighten the front leg, come up, come back to Tadasana, and we'll change. Let's repeat. One more time, we'll get into the pose. Back leg against the wall, right distance from the wall. Bend your front leg, bring your hand onto a blocks or on the ground. Then while transferring your body weight onto the front foot, raise that back leg and place it on the wall as high as you can. So this time pay attention to the angle between the front leg and the top leg. It's roughly 90 degrees. Breathe, don't hold the breath. Straighten your top arm, place it on your outer thigh. This time we'll focus more on alignment. Move your head back, straighten both the legs. Allow your toes to extend. Don't curl your toes, don't curl your feet. Let your feet expand. Breathe, keep breathing. If this is going well and if you want more challenge, raise your top arm up, bring it in line with your shoulder, but moving the shoulder away from your ears. Make this last breath. Slowly, while bending the front leg, bring the top leg onto the mat. Straighten the front leg, come up, hands to the hips, back to Tadasana, and we'll change. Let's do the opposite side. Like I said earlier, you don't have to change your side the way I'm doing. Your top leg will be against the wall. You'll be still using the wall. Then bend your front leg, back heel against the wall. Bend your front leg. For me, chair is my wall. Then transfer the body weight at the front foot. Raise your back leg. Land it onto the wall. If for some reason distance between your front leg and the top leg is not 90 degrees, or if you're too away from the wall, just come down or just come down, adjust your distance from the wall and then go back up. Breathe, don't hold the breath, straighten both the legs, bring the alertness in both the legs. I know it's challenging and we are together in this challenge. Extend your toes, extend your feet, keep breathing, don't hold the breath. Move that top shoulder back so that more of your torso is facing towards the wall at the front. Last breath here. As you exhale, bend your front leg and bring the top leg down onto the mat. Then straighten the front leg, come up, back to Tadasana. Let's take 2 breaths here. Pay attention to the breath. Pay attention to the alignment of your feet onto the mat. Release and relax. Let's practice Chatushpadasana, 4-footed limb pose. Move the blocks away from your mat. Come on the mat in lying position. Lie on your back. Bring the soles of your feet close to your hips. Bring your arms at your sides. Connect with your breath. Now, while maintaining palms facing towards the ground, next to your heels or next to your hips, press your feet well onto the mat and lift your hips higher. Let's do 4 more rounds of this. When you go down, go under control. Keep pressing your feet strongly and go up. Make sure your knees are in line with your hips. That means they are not falling out to the side or not coming closer when you raise your hip to go up. Come down, keep going at your own speed. Let's do few iterations here. 2 more to go at your own speed. Last one. This time when you come down, bring your hips to the ground, catch hold of the mat at the sides and go up again and stay there for 3 breaths. Now press your feet, your big toe, your little toe, inner and outer heel well onto the mat. So you're using that connection of your feet to lift the hips higher. Breathe, don't hold the breath. You're making your thighs, your glutes, your hamstrings, back of your thighs, your lower back stronger. That's what we want. Keep pressing higher, go up a centimeter more, raise your hips higher. Slowly on exhale, bring your hips down to the ground. Stay here for a moment, straighten your legs to release any tension or tightness, and we'll repeat. All right, when you're ready, while holding the sides of your mat, press your feet well onto the mat, pay attention to your toes, feel all the toes, and raise your hips higher. Press that little toe well onto the mat. This time when you're up, tuck your right shoulder in towards the spine. Just watch here again. If you're not sure, tuck your right shoulder in towards the spine. Do that towards the left side as well. This allows you to lift your chest more towards the ceiling, more opening and length at the chest. That's exactly what we want. Keep breathing, don't hold the breath. Feel the strength that you are using from your legs, at the back of your legs, in your glutes, in your buttocks, at your lower back. We're building a lot of strength in the legs. Breathe, don't hold the breath. On next exhale, slowly bring your hips down onto the mat. Straighten the legs, wiggle your legs side by side, release any tension or tightness. Well done. Pause. Now, Jatara Parivartanasana. Jatara means abdomen and Parivartanasana means revolved or twisted. We'll do the variation of these. So bend your legs, bring the soles of your feet close to your hips. Bring your arms in line with your shoulders, palm facing towards the ground. So once more observe when your shoulders are in line, your arms are in line with your shoulders, not lifting the shoulders up towards the ears. Move them down. Chest lifted, then raise your knees so that your knees are over your hips. Breathe, don't hold the breath. While maintaining this position, slowly, knees together, turn your legs towards the right and bring your legs all the way down onto the ground. Looking straight towards the ceiling. Breathe, don't hold the breath, and try not to push your left shoulder down onto the ground. You are twisting from your abdomen to bring the top side of your rib cage along with that the top of your shoulder, your left shoulder more towards the ground, but you are not pressing just the shoulder down to bring it towards the mat. On next exhale, lift your legs, bring them to the center, then go towards the left. Keep breathing, don't hold the breath. Use exhalation to twist from your abdomen more towards the ground direction. That means on exhale, you're twisting your trunk more to bring the top side of your rib cage more towards the ground. Two more breaths here. Spread your fingers and bring the even distance between them. Don't overstretch them, just let them extend. On next exhale, lift your legs up and then repeat. Go towards the right. This time, when you get into the pose, use your right hand on top of your left knee to increase the intensity of the pose. Press it gently towards the ground. Feel the length that you are creating in your lower back, in your mid back, your upper back, the stretch in your shoulder. Along with that, the length at the outer thigh. Just experience the sensations that you are feeling. And if it's too intense, just bring your hand onto the ground to reduce the intensity of the pose. Next exhale, lift your legs slowly, go towards the left. Keep breathing, don't hold the breath. Once you are stable, use your left hand on top of your right knee to increase the intensity of the pose. Use exhalation to twist more from your abdomen. On next exhale, lift your legs, come to the center, then bring the soles of your feet onto the mat. Straighten your legs. Bring your hands next to your hips. It's time to practice deep state of rest, that is Shavasana, corpse pose. Close your eyes. If you are in the region where weather is cold, then feel free to put a blanket underneath you and take a blanket on top of you to keep yourself warm. Find a position for your legs that maintains no hold, no tension or tightness in your legs. Let them roll out or in. Find a position that suits you well. Same with your arms, palms facing towards the ground or ceiling. Choose the position that brings your arms in the position where there is no discomfort. Connect with your breath. Bring your attention to your forehead, any frown lines. Let them soften. Release them on exhale. Bring your attention to your jaw. Let it relax. To understand the subtle tensions in our body, let's do a small exercise. Bring your attention to your feet. Now, without moving your feet, gently squeeze your toes as if you are picking a pebble with your toes. and maintain the contraction in your toes. Pay attention to the sensations that you are experiencing in your toes, at the sole of your feet, at the back of your legs, in your calf, at the back of your ankle joint. On next exhale, release the hold, release your toes, let them soften. Soften them completely. Now pay attention to the sensations of complete relaxation in your toes, in your feet. Now in your mind, compare the difference between both the sensations of contraction and complete relaxation. See if you can revise those sensations without moving your toes or feet. Now use this awareness of subtle contractions and relaxation to scan your body to find subtle contractions. See if you can release them on an exhale. Slowly bend your arms and bring your hands onto your abdomen at your lower front ribs. Bring your attention back to your breath. Slow inhale and slow exhale. Observe how your hands go up with each breath. Bend your legs and bring the soles of your feet onto the ground. Normal breath. Turn to your side and stay here for a moment. When you're ready, take the support of your hands and come up and sit in cross-leg position. Maintain your eyes closed. Sit upright, sit tall. Bring your hands to your chest in Namaskar Mudra, prayer position. Once more, relax your face, relax your jaw. Use inhalation to move your trunk away from your hips. Let it extend towards the ceiling. Use exhalation to move your shoulders back and down and lift in the chest. Take this opportunity to thank yourself for being engaged in the practice, to lengthen and strengthen lower body. Celebrate the small win of your day with gentle smile on your face. Move your chin towards the chest, move your head forward. Namaste and thank you. Move your head back, release your eyes, bring your hands to your thighs. If you like today's video, please consider giving me a like and subscribe. See you next time. Till then, be your best version.